It's quite clear that the boy never went to the movies that night. No one in the house saw him go out at 11:30. No one at the theater identified him. He couldn't even remember the names of the pictures he saw. What actually happened is this. The boy stayed home, had another fight with his father, stabbed him to death, and left the house at 10 minutes after 12. He even remembered to wipe the knife clean of fingerprints. Now, are you trying to tell me that this knife really fell through a hole in the boy's pocket? Someone picked it up off the street, went to the boy's house, and stabbed his father with it just to test its sharpness?
No, I'm just saying it's possible the boy lost his knife and that somebody else stabbed his father with a similar knife. It's just possible.
Take a look at this knife. It's a very unusual knife. I've never seen one like it. Neither had the storekeeper who sold it to the boy. Aren't you asking us to accept a pretty incredible coincidence?
I'm just saying a coincidence is possible.
And I say it's not possible.
Where did that come from? It's the same knife.
Quiet, you're doomed.
Where did you get it?
I went out walking for a couple of hours last night. I walked through the boy's neighborhood. I bought that in a little pawn shop just 2 blocks from the boy's house. It cost $6.
It's against the law to buy or sell switchblade knives.
That's right, I broke the law.
Listen, you pulled a real bright trick. Now, supposing you tell me what it proves. Maybe there are 10 knives like that, so what?
Maybe there are.
Well, what does it mean? You found another knife like it. What's that, the discovery of the age or something?
You mean you're asking us to believe that somebody else did the stabbing with exactly the same kind of knife?
The odds are 1,000,000 to 1.
It's possible.
But not very probable.
Okay, fellas, let's take our seats. There's no point standing around all over the place.
Sometime in the 20 minutes that you were in the shower, your father was shot.
I guess.
Your father was shot while you were in the shower, but you didn't hear the shot because you were in the shower?
Yes. I was washing my hair.
Where is she going with this?
Have a little faith, George.
Miss Wyndham, what had you done earlier that day?
I got up, got a latte, went to the gym, got a perm, and came home.
Where you got in the shower?
I believe the witness has made it clear that she was in the shower.
Yes, Your Honor. Miss Wyndham, had you ever gotten a perm before?
Yes.
How many would you say?
2 a year since I was 12. You do the math.
You know, a girl in my sorority, Tracy Marcinko, got a perm once. We all tried to talk her out of it. Curls weren't a good look for her. She didn't have your bone structure. Oh. But thankfully, that same day, she entered the Beta Delta Pi wet t-shirt contest where she was completely hosed down from head to toe.
Objection. Why is this relevant?
Oh, I have a point, I promise.
Then make it.
Yes, ma'am. Chutney, why is it that Tracy Marcinko's curls were ruined when she got hosed down?
Because they got wet?
Exactly. Because isn't it the first cardinal rule of perm maintenance that you're forbidden to wet your hair for at least 24 hours after getting a perm at the risk of deactivating the ammonium thioglycolate?
Yes.
And wouldn't somebody who's had, say, 30 perms before in their life be well aware of this rule? And if, in fact, you weren't washing your hair, as I suspect you weren't because your curls are still intact, wouldn't you have heard the gunshot? And if, in fact, you had heard the gunshot, Brooke Wyndham wouldn't have had time to hide the gun before you got downstairs, which would mean that you would have had to have found Mrs. Wyndham with a gun in her hand to make your story plausible. Isn't that right?
Your Honor, I request permission to withdraw from this case.
Mr. Drummond, you can't quit now.
Why not? You were ready to 5 minutes ago.
Colonel Drummond, what reasons can you possibly have?
Well, there are 200 of them. And if that's not enough, there's one more. I think my client has already been found guilty.
Is Mr. Drummond saying that this expression of an honest emotion will in any way influence the court's impartial administration of the law?
I say that you cannot administer a wicked law impartially. You can only destroy, you can only punish. And I warn you that a wicked law like cholera destroys everyone it touches. Its upholders as well as its defiers.
Colonel Drummond.
Can't you understand that if you take a law like evolution and you make it a crime to teach it in the public schools, tomorrow you can make it a crime to teach it in the private schools? And tomorrow you may make it a crime to read about it, and soon you may ban books and newspapers. And then you may turn Catholic against Protestant, and Protestant against Protestant, and try to foist your own religion upon the mind of man. If you can do one, you can do the other, because fanaticism and ignorance is forever busy and needs feeding. And soon, Your Honor, with banners flying and with drums beating, we'll be marching backward, through the glorious ages of that 16th century, when bigots burned the man who dared bring enlightenment and intelligence to the human mind.
I hope counsel does not mean to imply that this court is bigoted.
Well, Your Honor has the right to hope.
You are Wanda Gershwitz of Kipling Mansions, Murray Road, London, West 9.
Yes.
Now, will you tell the court, please, how do you know the defendant?
We've had a relationship for 2 years.
Relationship?
We're lovers, Your Lord.
Miss Gershwitz, on the 4th of March of this year, in the morning, where were you?
I was at the apartment at Murray Road.
And were you by yourself, or was there anyone else present?
No, somebody else was there.
Who was that?
My brother.
And did your... Your brother?
My brother.
Yes. Yes, and are you quite sure it was your brother?
Mr. Leach, I'm sure Miss Gershwitz can recognize her brother. She's had a relationship with him all her life.
Much obliged, my lord. Was there anyone else present that morning?
Yes, George was there.
Thank you.
But he left about 5 to 7.
Wanda. I wonder...
Yes, Mr. Leach?
when you say 5 to 7, Miss Gershwitz, how can you be so sure?
Oh, I looked at the clock, because I was saying to myself, where could he be going at 5 to 7 with that sawed-off shotgun?
Darling!
Mr. Leach. Darling?
Yes, dear?
Yep! Restrain that man! Restrain this man! Come here, you bastard! Clear the court! I'm shutting this man for now. Take the prisoner with you. Clear the court!
Oh, Mrs. Helm, which do you prefer to be called?
It does not matter.
Does it not? In this country, we are inclined to take a rather more serious view of marriage. However, Frau Helm, it would appear that when you first met the prisoner in Hamburg, you lied to him about your marital status.
I wanted to get out of Germany, so...
You lied, did you not? Just yes or no, please.
Yes.
Thank you. And subsequently, in arranging the marriage, you lied to the authorities?
I did not tell the truth to the authorities.
You lied to them?
Yes.
And in the ceremony of marriage itself, when you swore to love and to honor and to cherish your husband, that too was a lie?
Yes.
And when the police questioned you about this wretched man who believed himself married and loved, you told them?
I told them what Leonard wanted me to say.
You told them that he was at home with you at 25 minutes past 9, and now you say that that was a lie.
Yes, a lie.
And when you said that he had accidentally cut his wrist, again you lied.
Yes.
And now today you've told us a new story entirely. The question is, Frau Helm, were you lying then? Are you lying now? Or are you not, in fact, a chronic and habitual liar?
The other bill, under the tongue.
My lord, is my learned friend to be allowed to bully and insult the witness in this fashion?
Mr. Myers, this is a capital charge, and within the bounds of reason, I should like the defense to have every latitude.
My lord, may I also remind my learned friend that his witness, by her own admission, has already violated so many oaths that I am surprised the testament did not leap from her hand when she was sworn here today. I doubt if anything is to be gained by questioning you any further. That will be all, Frau Helm.
Were you in the first wave during the attack on the anthill?
Yes, sir.
Did you refuse to advance?
No, sir.
Did you advance?
Yes, sir.
How far did you advance?
To about the middle of no man's land, sir.
Then what did you do?
There were machine gun bullets landing all around.
Answer the question. What did you do?
Well, I saw that me and
I
Myers,
didn't ask
sir.
you what you saw. The court has no concern with your visual experiences.
My what, sir?
The prisoner will reply to the question.
Yes, sir. What question was it?
You advanced to the middle of no man's land. What did you do then?
Then, sir?
Did you go back or forward?
I went back, sir.
In other words, Private Farrell, you retreated.
Yes, sir.
That's all. The accused may return to his seat.
Just a minute. Mr. President, I'd like to question the witness, if I may.
Proceed, Colonel.
Thank you. Now, Private Farrell, when you reached the middle of no man's land, were you alone with Private Meyer?
Yes, sir.
Well, what happened to the rest of your company?
Well, I don't know, sir. I guess the rest of them had been killed or wounded.
You found yourself in the middle of no man's land alone with Private Meyer.
Yes, sir.
Why didn't you attack the anthill single-handed? Why didn't you storm the anthill alone?
Just me and Meyer? You're kidding, sir.
Yes, I'm kidding, Private Farrell. Thank you. That's all.
I don't see the point of this line of questioning.
Well, I'm attempting to indicate, sir, the utter absurdity of the line of questioning used by the prosecutor.
Mr. Prosecutor?
So you freely admit, Private Farrell, that you retreated?
Yes, sir. Me and Meyer both. I knew we should have took anthill, but we came on back.
That's all. The accused may return to his seat.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's be honest. You're not going to find many rich people on death row. Matthew Poncelet's here today because he is poor. Didn't have money for representation, so he had to take what the state gave him. The state gave him a tax lawyer who never tried a capital case before. An amateur. Jury selection took 4 hours. Trial lasted 5 days. Lawyer raised one objection the entire trial. Now, if Matthew had himself some money, well, he could have hired a team of crackerjack lawyers, and they would have hired top-notch investigators, a ballistics expert, a psychologist to compile profiles of desirable jurors, and you can be sure Matthew Poncelet wouldn't be sitting here today before you asking for his life. The death penalty. It's nothing new. Been with us for centuries. We buried people alive, lopped off their heads with an axe, burned them alive in public squares. Gruesome spectacles.
I wanted them to see this picture.
In this century, we kept searching for more and more humane ways of killing people that we didn't like. We've shot them with firing squads, suffocated them in a gas chamber. But now we have developed a device that is the most humane of all. Lethal injection. We strap the guy up.
We anesthetize him with shot number 1. Then we give him shot number 2, and that implodes his lungs, and shot number 3 stops his heart. We put him to death just like an old horse. His face just goes to sleep while inside his organs are going through Armageddon. The muscles of his face would twist and contort and pull, but you see, shot number 1 relaxes all those muscles, so we don't have to see any horror show. We don't have to taste the blood of revenge on our lips, while this human being's organs writhe, twist, contort. We just sit there quietly, nod our heads, say, justice has been done.
Why did we succeed, Your Honor? What about the rest of the world? Did it not know the intentions of the Third Reich? Did it not hear the words of Hitler's broadcast all over the world? Did it not read his intentions in Mein Kampf, published in every corner of the world? Where's the responsibility of the Soviet Union, who signed in 1939 the pact with Hitler, enabled him to make war? Are we now to find Russia guilty? Where's the responsibility of the Vatican, who signed in 1933 the Concordat with Hitler, giving him his first tremendous prestige? Are we now to find the Vatican guilty? Where's the responsibility of the world leader Winston Churchill, who said in an open letter to the London Times in 1938, 1938, Your Honor, were England to suffer national disaster, I should pray to God to send a man of the strength of mind and will of an Adolf Hitler. Are we now to find Winston Churchill guilty? Where's the responsibility of those American industrialists who helped Hitler to rebuild his armaments and profited by that rebuilding? Are we now to find the American industrialists guilty? No, Your Honor, no. Germany alone is not guilty. The whole world is as responsible for Hitler as Germany. It is an easy thing to condemn one man in the dark. It is easy to condemn the German people, to speak of the basic flaw in the German character that allowed Hitler to rise to power. But at the same time, comfortably ignore the basic flaw of character that made the Russians sign pacts with him, Winston Churchill praise him, American industrialists profit by him. Ernst Janning said, he is guilty. If he is, Ernst Janning's guilt is the world's guilt. No more, and no less.
Do I have to enter into evidence a videotape that Andrew made of you that indicates how very close you were?
We dated.
Until he met Rebecca.
Yes.
Did you love him?
Of course I did.
Didn't you think it was cruel of him to confide in you about Rebecca after he'd broken up with you?
Objection. The testimony has no relevance to the issues in this trial.
I'll withdraw the question. Were you hurt?
What do you think? I was crushed. But I knew it wouldn't last.
And you expected him to come back to you after it was over?
Men don't marry women like her.
Didn't he tell you he asked Rebecca to marry him?
She turned him down. She'd already gotten from him everything she wanted.
But you didn't.
Objection. Counsel's putting the witness on trial.
I loved him. I never would have hurt him.
Even if he asked?
Your Honor.
That's enough, Mr. Delaney. The objection sustained, and strike Mr. Delaney's question. Now, was that your entire bag of tricks, Counselor? Or do you have another line of questioning with which to proceed?
You testified that you ran personal errands for Andrew Marsh.
Yes.
Such as going to the drugstore?
Yes.
Buying nasal spray for him because he had a cold? You signed a house charge for nasal spray on April 8th, the date of Andrew Marsh's death. I'd like to introduce the receipt from Montclair Pharmacy as Exhibit H. That was the bottle used to kill him. There was no other nasal spray found in the house. Is it true that you put in the cocaine? Because you were jealous? Because he cut you out of his will?
Objection.
Because you have a cocaine habit to feed?
No!
You're out of line, counselor. Strike his remarks.
I don't think I want to answer any more questions without an attorney.
In this country, a man's home is his castle. That is one of the principles by which this community survives. You men have done violence to that principle. But I want you to know that the court understands that the crimes that you have committed have been, to some extent at least, brought about by outside influences. Outsiders have come into Jessup County, and they've been people of low morality and unhygienic. And their presence here has provoked a lot of people. So the court understands, without condoning them, mind you, that the crimes to which you men have pled guilty were, to some extent at least, provoked by these outside influences. So, with all this, I'm going to make your punishment light. I'm going to sentence you each to 5 years imprisonment. But I'm going to suspend these sentences.